Soggy Science here. It's our 13th one. Woohoo! We're outside of TED. We were at TED Active last week and had a lot of fun. And they have a really cool installation here by Janet Eckelman using old fishing nets. So, interactive art from discarded fishing nets. How cool is that? Turns out Malaysian Flight 370 is still missing. Craziness. Needle in a haystack stuff. Totally random. But the Chinese may have seen it on satellite. It's going to take 4 days to get out there with a boat. But part of the problem is they're finding marine debris every time they think they found it. Good Soggy Science friend David Kincannon is going to be talking about it on the news because he's the guy and his team with Jeff Bezos, who were honored by the Explorers Club recently, found the F-1 rocket that was on the Apollo mission to the moon. Talk about a needle in a haystack. Anyway, hopefully we'll get some good news on this front and families can have some answers soon. But the mystery of the year continues. Turns out that iron kept the last ice age going longer. Iron dust settled around Antarctica and caused plankton blooms. And apparently that plankton took more CO2 out and extended the ice age. There's some geoforming geoengineering types that think that might be a solution for global climate change and increased CO2 levels. However, it only lowered it 40 parts per million. Since we're doing 2 parts per million a year, it probably wouldn't have the impact, and it also took 1,000 years. So different alternatives are probably needed on that front. Good news on the Colorado River. They're going to release a pulse March 23rd, being tomorrow, and should help revitalize the Delta area at the mouth of the Sea of Cortez. Used to be a lush area, but really a drop of Colorado River water hasn't touched there unused and in any volume in 50 years. So hopefully this will start to restore it, get that estuarine environment back together. Dams, water release really has an impact, as we talked about last week. Lydia, the great white wandering shark, has turned away from the UK and is on her way to Greenland. Dr. Skolmel, cool work. Looking forward to following her some more. Keep it up. Very cool news on the conservation front. The Hamilton Declaration was signed by 5 nations. That would be the Azores, Bermuda, Monaco, the UK, and the US to help protect the Sargasso Sea. As we saw with the sea turtles, it's an important estuarine and developmental area in the middle of the Atlantic. And off of Chile, another reserve was formed, the biggest one in South America. It's a blue whale reserve, and it's 90,000 hectares. That's huge. Good on you, Chile. Keep it up. And hopefully we'll see more of that habitat protection for the big marine megafauna. Turns out an Australian man saved his mate while spearfishing. Really good reminder, if you're going to spearfish and freedive, do it with a partner. Get trained in good rescue techniques and don't dive alone. Especially spearfishing, people tend to be fish-oriented rather than safety-oriented. So it can be a lot of fun to freedive and it can be a very safe sport, but make sure you practice good safety and never dive alone. Turns out that if you take older fish from a school of fish, they might have trouble getting around. So the collective memory or history of the pack of fish might be negatively impacted. So might have to change our way of fishing to help protect migrations of fish. It was done on a theoretical math model though, so we'll see how it works in real life. Bangladesh. They otter fish in Bangladesh. Not fishing otters, but they use otters to fish. Unfortunately, pollution and degradation of the environment and sedimentation has lowered fish counts so much where this practice has dropped by 90%. So otter fishing may go the way of the past. It's a lifestyle for them out there, I guess. Families do it, but pollution and sediment is having a negative impact on that way of making a living catching fish. Who knew? Otter fishing. How crazy is that? Anyway, the world's a beautiful place. Lots of amazing things. Thanks for your suggestions. Follow along and subscribe. And get out there, get in the water, and get soggy.